there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And today it's supposed to be Altered Index Day. I did mention in last week's video that I wasn't sure how I was going to go with this one because I was struggling with the prompt of school days, and I have ummed and ahed over it for the last few days, and I just can't think of anything that I've got that would make an adhesive hole. So I thought, well, you know, wasn't sure what to do. And then this morning I watched Rachel from Roxy Creations' latest weekly challenge. It's week 30, and so I am filming a week ahead, so it would have been the previous week for you. And I thought, that's it. That's what I'm going to make. I love those, and I want to make some for all my journals that I'm working on or working towards. So I've done a bit of preparation. So what she did was, I think she's called them fun botanical tags or sampler tags or something like that. I'm probably not going to go down the botanical theme as much, if at all, because I want to use the ephemera that would go with the journals I'm working on. So I've pulled out far too many pieces and prepared them because I wanted them to be reasonably sturdy. So although most of them, they are pretty well all digitals, I have actually backed some of them already onto some book page just to give them that extra layer of strength before I actually back them as journal cards or tags. Most of them are going to be journal cards. She did journal cards, but I've got at least one here that would be ideal as a tag, and they're from a variety of things. They're quite a lot of them are from ephemera kit, or she has an antique letter kit, which I think I've got a couple of pieces from. I think this is a piece of digital ledger paper. So a variety of things. There's a little piece of ephemera here. So I've got more than I need, as I always do, and I've got a few things to back them with. So I thought, well, I'll get them started by giving them the first layer of backing, and then we'll put the backing on them to make them into writing journal cards and tags. So let's get started on that. So what I've got here, this is, I think it's a piece of old file folder or something. It's quite thick, it's like a card, but it was wrapped around the pack of ephemera that I bought from Rachel some time ago. And I've been using the ephemera itself in my journals, but this was wrapped all around it, like just to keep it all together. And I thought, well, actually, it's very similar to what she used in her video, and she used some quite thick old papers. So I thought I'd use a bit of this, and this one would work well on here, because I thought this one would go very nicely in my Literary Ladies journal, because it seems to be some sort of marriage certificate or a part of a marriage certificate. It says mariage entre Jean something Kelsey and Louise Justrobe or something. Anyway, it's in French, so it's ideal to go on in that journal. So that's what I'm going to back onto this pink card. And all right, looking for this, and it was right in front of me. Oh, I'll grab should have got everything more to hand, really. So I'm just going to, that doesn't look terribly straight, does it? No. Well, I may have to straighten it up as I go. So this is going to make quite a big journal card, but sometimes big journal cards is quite handy to have. And we want to get a few things on the journal card, so why not? I'm just going to leave a little border around it. So I'm going to put it about here. Put that onto there. Now I don't know if it'll tear. I'll try, and then I'll get my cutter in if it doesn't work. So I'm not going to I'm not going to try and do all of the ones that I've pulled out. I might do some more off camera because It's the sort of thing I love to make. As soon as I saw what she was doing, I thought, oh, that's my kind of thing. I love it when she does these things with little fabric samplers. I remember we did some before. I think we did tags before as part of Roxys Weekly Challenge, and I made several, and I used them all. Loved them. So I thought, yes, this is going to be my kind of thing. So a little bit big there. I might just take a little bit off if I can. This is tearing nicely, actually. I think it's quite old and soft, but it's thick enough to act as a really good backing. In fact, I wasn't even going to use the ones that were on the book page on this. I was going to use one that hadn't been backed on. Oh, never mind. So it's going to be super thick, this one. Okay, so it's got a really thick layer there. But then that can be written on the back. So what one was I going to back onto here? There was one. Yeah, that one. That's a bit thinner. I'll do that one on here as well, on the other side. So let's just quickly do these, and then we can get on with the fun stuff. Right, so it's got 2 on the pink. Then I also pulled out some of this Amazon packaging. It was actually, I think it was part of the paper bag that I used for my Owls and Fairies journal. So I thought, well, that's quite thick. That might be also strong enough, and it would be very similar colour to what Rachel was using, even though hers isn't packaging, but it's the same idea. So I'm going to pop this one, and so again it's another one that's been backed. I didn't really want a thick one on there. I'm going to do this one, though I'm not sure I'm going to use it now, so maybe not. Okay, so I might just put this one on here. So I hope you're all well. Things are going well here. Looks like my younger daughter has once again sold her house for the 3rd time. So we're just keeping all our fingers crossed that this sale goes through. It is actually the lady who wanted it in the first place, and then decided she needed to sell her flat first because she thought she could manage it without, but apparently not. So she disappeared for a bit. Now she's come back all keen again, so we'll see. I think Hannah and George are a lot more cautious about this now. She's let them down before, so we'll see. But it's all looking good at the moment. But they're away. Both my girls are on holiday at the moment. My oldest daughter and her family are in Venice, having a wonderful time. We're getting lots of lovely pictures of Alyssa in the swimming pool and on the beach and eating ice cream and basically all the things that a kid loves to do. So that's all good. So the way I'm going to be trying to back all of these, and that's not really the plan. Nope, that's not going to tear. It's quite thick, and it's not glued down properly either. So I'm going to use my cutter for this one. I think I'll just do one more, and then I'm going to have to stop, otherwise I'm not going to get finished. Oh, I put it on the wrong side, didn't I? Oh well. I'll have to cover that up. Oh, I haven't done a good job of this at all. Gluing this on. And I put the wrong... glued it onto the wrong side. What silly Billy. I'll have to find something to cover that up. I'm sure I can. Oh, super wrinkly. Okay, not too sure about that one. Right. Okay, and what else? I do this one. So I think what Rachel was mainly using was letters, as I said, old letters or digitals of old letters, but I've used a bit of a mix, depending on what I have. And I also wanted to back, one of the reasons I backed these onto book page, because I wanted to use this because it's got lovely writing space on the other side. So I thought, well, I could, these ones that are very wrinkly, although this one isn't too bad really, but I thought it would be good for backing onto. I know it seems a shame to cover all this up. I might use this side, or this bit, and not to cover up all the nice writing. Use that somewhere else. Make sure it's nice and smooth along the back. And I'm going to cut it because I did think about having a bit showing either side, but it's just not strong enough to do that, so I'm going to just cut round. Just use it for writing. Alright, done with all those pieces. So this one, I think I'm going to use some pieces. I think this one is going to be for my owl journal. So, just wondering what to do about the corners. I think I might do a little mini snip of the corners. This is an extra step that Rachel did not do, snipping the corners, but it's sort of thing I felt I really wanted to do it. And I'm also going to ink around it because I feel it needs it. So I'm just adding a few things to make it more in keeping with what I would normally do, making some things like this. And I may well sew around it as well afterwards, just around the edge. Right, so let's find some fabrics to put down the side. And I've got my box of fabrics that I used for the journal, for making the journal, for the cover. I want to use a piece of this, I think. I'm not using pinking shears, which Rachel, again, she did that with hers, and she cut them with pinking shears, but as I don't get on with pinking shears, so I don't have any, because I don't use them. So, but I don't think it's a problem. I'm not that fussed about having a bit of a frayed edge. I quite like it, so I'm going to leave it as it is. That side. Maybe I'll put it on that side. Yeah, maybe I will. well, I think I have to have a piece of this. This lovely piece that came from my Rach and Bella pack. Don't cut that very straight, I'll have to cut that there. And that can go there. Maybe that way. That there. And what else have I got? Could use a piece of scrap, and there's so many options really. Or some of this printed fabric would be lovely on here. You know, I'm kind of reaching for the things I used before, but I just love them. So just cutting that off. It's a little bit more fray than I want. And at the bottom here. And that's going to go there. So I'm going to glue those on. And we'll go on to the next one. I'm going to use my glue stick in the hope that it will hold. I think it will. That way? No. I feel like it should be that way. This one. It's going to go there. It's a very mucky job, this. Keep wiping my fingers. And that will go there. Okay, put that to one side at the moment, so dry. And let's get the next one out. So this, oh, this is that very wrinkly one that I've messed up on the back. Well, let's cover this piece up. I wonder, might use a bit of this. Tear it down just a little bit more. Right across the back there. Yeah, why not? I like that. Just have to adapt. There we go. Let's cover that up. It's not too bad now. It's a little bit wrinkly, but it gives it a bit of age, doesn't it? And I think, should I make this, I might make this an actual journal tag. And do the top. This is a piece of paper I've had knocking around for a very long time, and I've no idea where it came from, but I've always liked this bit of script. So I've hung on to it in case I ever got to use it. So I'm going to do some smaller pieces, maybe 4 rather than 3, but smaller. So let's do that. Put that aside. And I think I'm going to bring in an eclectic selection on here. I have of an idea of what journal I might be able to use it for, but I don't know yet. So I love this. This is a piece of fabric from Roxy Creations. I bought a little pack of vintage fabrics. And this is gorgeous, this blue. So that's going to go there. What else have I got in here? These are not all vintage by any means. Some of them are. Little piece. A little bit there. What about this piece? Would that work? Might do. And I just want a small bit. Actually, I think maybe 3 is enough after all. This is quite a long piece, but I couldn't cut it down. It was just too pretty. So yeah, I think I might might leave it at that. All right, let's glue those pieces on. Okie dokie. Love those. One there. What else have we got? Let's just see. Not just grab the first one. Let's do one of these pink ones. Let's do the marriage one. So I've got a pile of fabrics here that I'm using for my for my journal. I pulled out for that journal. So I got this. This is, I think, a piece of vintage. Don't want to lose the little flower. But it's a bit big. Now, which side has got the most space? I think I might just put that on there. I don't want to cover up the word marriage. Put that there, I think. Maybe put that there. This needs straightening up. Okay, put that there. They look better lined up. They do really, don't they? And what can we have at the bottom? No. Well, what about some of my printed fabric? A piece of the blue printed. I'll just check this has come back on because it didn't start with. Yep, my filming. Good. So I did have a little bit of that knocking around, but I don't know where that went. I could make umpteen versions of this with the little bits of fabric that I've got that I love. Try and cut them straight. A little bit down there. No, it's a bit lost there. I think I put that down there and put that piece there. I wonder if I could just put a little bit up here. A little bit of something. About a little bit of this. This piece of that gorgeous fabric I used on the cover of my small one that I took to the retreat. A little piece of that just there. It's a bit too much. Cut that in half. Put that there. Yep. So that's going to go there. And once again we'll glue them on. Right, so that's that one. I've got time to do one more. I want to do one more. I'm thinking of doing something in sort of autumnal colours. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do as far as an autumn kit or an autumn journal or something, but I thought I'd have some preparation, get a piece done just in case, and also but I won't put any kind of ephemera on it. What have I got here? Oh, that's on pink. That's on nothing. Alright, so I'm going to use this piece. I don't think pink is quite an autumn colour. Oh gosh, I've done that wrong as well. Look. Put that on the wrong side. I'm so stupid. So stupid. I'll have to put something on the back of that. Right. Now I'm going to glue this onto the right side. Oops. glue, glue, glue. Right, so this one I think just is quite a small one, so I need little pieces, but I have got some, I did bring out some pieces of fabric that I thought might work for autumn. I don't know what I've done with them. There we go, here. Under here, yeah. So I've got this gorgeous piece. I bought this as a piece I bought when I was away in Malvern. I can't remember where I got this from now. I think this was from a flea market. I think as I only want a small piece, I'm just going to cut that. I want a flower. I might have to cut a bit off the bottom. I think this is like a Sanderson fabric, I think. Really, you can feel the quality of it. It's a bit too big. So that one's going to go there. I'll just straighten it across the top. So that one. And this piece of fabric, which has got all sorts of colours in it. It's a lovely, it's an old curtain I bought. This is a piece that I took several bits of to the retreat to give away and didn't bring an awful lot home. Brought a few pieces home, but not very much, which was nice. So I could put that piece there. What else have I got? Oh, got my lovely William Morris fabric. I'll just take this piece off the bottom. Is that too big? It's a little bit big, isn't it? A little bit big. A bit tall as well. Okay, I'll put that piece on. Then I've got this ready to decorate when I know what sort of autumn journal I'm doing. Probably the colours will be completely wrong. But never mind, because I like them. So I'll use it somewhere. Right, so I'm going to glue this one on. But I'm not going to add any more to this one. I'll put it in my to-do box, ready to use. If it's right. In fact, I think I might. I'm going to probably finish off the others that I've started as well, just with fabrics, but not add the ephemera piece until I know what I'm going to use them for. Right, so that's going to go aside. And we'll pull in the ones that I've already done, that I already know how I'm going to finish them off. If I could just find the top of this, that would be good. Just put it there for now. Okay, so let's pull this one in. This is our marigage, and I've got my book of ladies, so I've got this one, which is the Ruby and Pearl kit, and I want one that's kind of longish. I love her. Ooh, she looks really good on there, doesn't she? She's a possibility. I've got a more long, narrow ones. Not quite right. She could be cut down, but I don't think the colours quite work. She's gorgeous. She's a journal card all by herself, isn't she? But too big for this one. That one go on there. A bit wide as well. So many lovely images. She might work if I tore her down. Still a little bit wide. Oh, this one's even longer and narrower. She's too big on there. You get different sized images, the same images in different sizes. No, still not what I want. I think we'll stick with my initial choice. She is a bit of a fave. I think I might just cut down her with my kind of decal-y type of scissors. So that's going to go there. And I need something up here. See if I've got a Roxy Creations label that would work up there. It's a bit big. No, it's too blendy into the background, that one. Where's that one I just pulled out in the smaller size? So I like that one. Well, there is this that looks a bit like a fabric swatch. But I want it to be different. Different. Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's try it. I'll just cut round it and see. I might put something just behind it just to make sure it stands out a little bit. Yeah, I like it there, but I want a bit of book page behind it, I think. Or maybe even a little bit of... Whoa! Sorry, my shelf tends to tip when I pull things out. No, it's too similar in colour. Got a lighter piece here, that might be better. No, don't like that. Didn't do a very good job of cutting that. Bit of music. A nice label just to put up in that corner. Right, okay. Go with that. Got bits everywhere. Ooh, I like that better. Yeah. Does that look better? Where'd my label go? Oh, it's upside down. However, it does show up a bit better. But it's the wrong shape. That looks better there. So that's what I'm going to do. Kind of frames the word marriage, or should I say mariage. The way the shape of it, so I think I like that better. Put her on as well. It's entirely possible I'll add a bit of lace at some stage, but I think for the moment, for the purposes of this video, that one is done. And it's even pink on the back, which is surprising. Didn't do it on the wrong side. Okay, what else have I got? A couple of others here. So I've got this one, which is going to go in my owl journal. Let's have a look at my pieces of ephemera for that. So I'm thinking I want a fairy on here. Something like that would look really nice. She's lovely. She's too small and she's sitting down. She's also lovely. I like the green. What else have I got here? Mushroom. Any more fairies? Not big enough. Too lilac. It's not going to work on there, is it? That colour. Okay, let's go with her, because she was my first choice. Do I want a mushroom here as well? Mushrooms nearly as big as her. Mind you, the fairies won't. Yeah, there could be mushrooms as big as her, couldn't they? Don't think I want an owl on this one. Piece here with a number. I've put up here. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to... I think this mushroom's a bit dominating. It's too big. She should be the star. So let's see if there's something else that I can put on there with her. Right, so I pulled out a few pieces. I had to change my battery, as I often do after filming for a while, so I took the opportunity to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, and I pulled out this little piece. It's called Dance on the Flowers, which I thought really was rather a nice sentiment for her, and she could stand on there. But so that prompted me to have a look in my flowers, and I thought this one worked really well behind her, so I'm going to put this. It's a big poppy. Put that there, and her just on the in front of it there. I did pull this one out as well, which I thought I was going to put up here, but actually I think we don't need that. That's enough on here now. So yeah, I think I'm going to I'm just going to snip the corners on this. It's too small to put through my little punch, but I just want to snip those. Caught this from Rachel anyway, snipping the corners. She does it all the time and I really like it, so I tend to do it a lot as well now. Whoops! Okay, so I'm going to pop that down here. Just leave that little bit of writing showing there. And then I think we'll put the flower on next. Well, I'm not going to use my glue sticks, it's quite delicate. I have, this is a flower I cut out of a book, and then I've backed it onto some straw paper to make it a bit stronger. I did that with a load of flowers that I took out of a book, because otherwise they tend to be very flimsy, and they're hard to store when they're very flimsy. I mean, it's still not super strong, but it does make a little bit of difference. Okay, just wipe this off my mat before I go any further. This gorgeous poppy on here. After all, Rachel was using botanicals, but this is not strictly speaking. I mean, I could just leave it at that. I could, but I'm not going to, of course, because I want my little fairy on there. She's so pretty. I'm just going to pop her over that way so you can see all of the more of the flower. And just pop her on there. There we are. And a nice journal card for the journal I'm working on, Fairy Journal. And I really like that one. Okay, and now I'm going to do this one, a little tag. And for this one I'm going to use this piece. This is, I don't know if it's a Tim Holtz, it was in a pack that I was sent in a big box of Happy Mail. And it's like a dress form. And I think that goes lovely on there. So I'm going to put that there. Just pop it straight on. I have in mind to do a dressmaker journal, sewing journal, whatever you want to call it. But whether I'll get to that anytime soon, I don't know. I've got the kits and I've starting to gather some things, and this is one of the things I found. I thought, right, I'm going to go on this tag. It's the perfect size. Goes really nicely on there. And then one of the kits is the Rachel and Bella, what's it called, Journal de Couturier. And these are some of the words. So I think I'm going to take, right in the middle, of course, pattern. Far too big, of course. Need to cut it down quite a bit, actually. Oops. We'll link it up. I might just do a little corner snip as well. Once you start, you can't stop. Snipping all the corners. Up there or down here? Up there, I think. Alright, so that's that one. Again, it probably will get sewn around. Oh, yeah, I was going to do some other. I was just going to put a little piece of lace at the top as well. Just a tiny little bit. With a bit of a topper. There. Actually, I think I'll just take that bit off. Like that. Like that. There we are. Just a little bit of something at the top to finish it off. Okay, so that's my Roxys Weekly Challenge. First time I've done one in ages, but I've really enjoyed it. I love the things that I've made. I love it when she does her fabric swatch pieces. So these are the 3 that I've finished. I've got another one started. And a couple more that I think I might do some work on off camera. That might get them finished. I'll put them in my to-do box, I don't know. Put that in there. Get rid of these little bits of stuff, bits of scraps. Okay. Right, so there we are. Week 30, I believe, of Roxys Weekly Challenge. Fun, but she calls them botanical fabric. I don't know what she called them, to be honest. I'll come up with a name of similar, but hers were, she said tags, but actually I think they've ended up being journal cards. Hers mostly journal cards, so. And I will see you again soon. I probably will get back to the Altered Index Challenge next week. It's just I felt like I want to do something different, and this really appealed to me. As you can see, I've really enjoyed myself. So I will see you soon. Bye for now.